Hey y'all, hey, it's another episode of Bonafide Her Podcast featuring the one and only Miss Katie Shanahan. Me, 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 me.
Thank you for having me. I can't wait to talk to you and share a little bit about my story. Super excited.
Yes, of course. How are you doing though today?
I'm good. Yeah, the weather's nice here. I live on the Cape in Massachusetts, so I was at the beach earlier today. I worked out this morning at 7 a.m. So yeah.
Those early morning workouts be clutch at times. Like, just get my workout in and just call it a day afterwards.
Right.
So let's get it started. So Miss Katie, can you tell us like your sports journey and how you got to where you are?
Yes. So I grew up playing soccer for most of my life. I played golf as well. So I grew up playing those two main sports. And then I guess as I got older, I kind of was more interested in different sports. So I started ice hockey around age 10. And then field hockey, I started around age 10 too. I went to a skills clinic, like a youth skills clinic when I first turned 10, and I kind of learned about field hockey. I loved it. That's why I'm here today. So clearly I liked it. I started lacrosse around age like 12. I played that for a little bit as well. So I guess you could say I played a lot of sports. But then I guess once I got to middle school, I had to decide between playing field hockey or soccer because they were the same season. So I decided to switch to field hockey. And at the time, I think I might have been better at soccer. But I was like, you know what? I have a change of heart and I want to pursue my passion playing field hockey, and we'll see where it takes me. So yeah, I switched over to field hockey, and then I guess the rest is kind of history. Because then I went on when I got to when I got to high school, I started the recruiting process. I started reaching out to schools. Obviously, they can't reach out to you or respond back till June 15th, going into your junior year. Now that's the new rule as of a few years ago. So I waited to hear back. I sent highlight videos during COVID. It was definitely hard because there was no tournaments that you could go play in. So you kind of had to be creative. So my parents actually helped me to build a turf in my basement where I made recruiting videos. I bought a tripod off Amazon and I would make like weekly recruiting videos and I would send those out to schools. And I think that definitely got me on a lot of schools like maps, I guess, per se, because no one else was really sending film and everyone was just kind of like, oh, like, yeah, there's nothing to do right now. And then I'd like send out a video and they'd be like, oh, like this is great. So I guess I waited to hear back. And then on June 15th, I got multiple calls from schools that are interested in me, which honestly was a surprise to me and my family. A lot of Division I schools, which was super exciting. But yeah, and then I guess one part I skipped over was I started my own field hockey coaching business in 2020 as well. I started with two athletes, Caroline and Lauren Shear, and I guess I kind of was someone they looked up to, like, and still do, I'd say, as like an athlete and like a female. So yeah, I started with two, and now I'm up to over 60 athletes. So yeah.
Go girl. I'm here for that. Yes.
Thank you.
Like started from the bottom, now we're here. So my question is, how do you hope to see like field hockey continue to grow, especially like for those that may have not seen it or they may heard of it but they never seen it, but do you hope the field hockey like culture continues to grow in different school programs too?
Yeah, I'd say that when I was first starting up, there was only one club in my area, and actually there only still is one club, but it's a lot bigger than what it used to be. And I think more people are interested in starting at a younger age now, which is huge for like growing field hockey overall. Because if people aren't starting until they're getting to high school, then the competition and like the level of play isn't going to be as high as it would if people started when they were younger. Like kids, when they start soccer when they're 5 years old, like when they get to high school, the soccer teams are super competitive. So I think over the years, like my high school field hockey team was very competitive. Like we went to the state MIAA, Massachusetts, finals, semifinals, quarterfinals every year. We went to the tournament, and it was because um, in my town they had started to create more youth programs where kids were starting when they were younger, and then as I got older, like everyone was just super competitive. And I guess there are still athletes that start like when they get to high school or junior high, they want to start, and like the good athletes do do well, but I think it's more competitive to the point where if you're starting super late, or like if you're starting a lot later now, then I think it's a little more difficult. But yeah, at a public high school, I'd say that that's still very normal. But
And you go to oh Lord, we were just talking about this, and correct me how I pronounce it. Quinnipiac.
Quinnipiac, Quinnipiac,
Quinnipiac.
yes.
Oh yay! That's terrible. Okay, yay! Because I was like, I don't want to butcher it, but with Quinnipiac being considered a mid major, what would you say is the misconceptions of mid major competition?
I think that the misconception is that my field hockey team, we compete in the Big East. We play some of the best teams in the country. We play UConn, we play Liberty, we play Old Dominion. Like we're playing some of the best competition, and there's other sports at Quinnipiac as well. Like our women's and men's ice hockey teams, they're in the ECAC. Like it's just super competitive, and I think that you can't really per se label a school, even though it is a mid-major school. I say that that doesn't directly correlate with your competition and like the kind of athletes that are going to commit to go there. Because I have a lot of I have tons of friends that are athletes at Quinnipiac, and we're all super like motivated, driven. Like um, I'd say, yeah, we're not at a huge school. We're not at, I don't know, a crazy big school, but honestly, I don't think that matters. And I think the competitiveness and the drive from all the athletes kind of builds the culture. And especially from the NIL landscape, I think at first a lot of people misconceived athletes at mid-major, smaller schools because they weren't at these big schools where big NIL companies per se wanted them. But I think I've kind of myself have changed that script, and I believe that at whatever school you go to, you can make an impact, especially in the NIL space and in your athletic career. And I've done that by I have multiple brand deals, and yeah, I just that's my opinion.
Ooh, look at you getting get your money, girl. You better get your money. So my question for you is, I would literally, it's crazy because I literally told Elizabeth, and I just told you, y'all look like y'all could be sisters. Because I was like, I was like, they are inseparable. Like I was just like, so I see one, I know the other one's coming somewhere, and I was like, oh. So my question is for you is, and for folks that don't know, 2 weeks ago was Athlete Con, the best. Shout out to Sam for the Athlete Con.
It was awesome.
So my question for you is, how impactful was Athlete Con for you? And like, what was that like for you to go at Athlete Con and learning more about the NIL?
Yeah, AthleteCon was an amazing experience. I met so many great people, not only just the influencers and like the brands, but also the other athletes. I think it was a great event where you could connect with other athletes and like collab. Like um, Elizabeth, like you just mentioned, she was my roommate at AthleteCon. She plays hockey at Cal Berkeley, and we just meshed really well together. And I think I can confidently say that we're going to be friends for a long time now. And I think that's something amazing that AthleteCon can do for athletes as well. And it just brings people together. And overall, like learning from the experts at AthleteCon, I've learned how to create better content, how to post to multiple platforms. I honestly never really thought about cross posting. I'd post different content on every page, but if you have one video, why not post it to all three? So there's a lot of takeaways from AthleteCon, and I'd say overall, just learning to be consistent and stick to the process, and that yes, everyone wants to get tons of followers if you're an NIL athlete, but it's not going to happen overnight, and you have to be consistent with it. So I'd say that was honestly one of the biggest takeaways for me, is that you need to be consistent, but also another takeaway was that you want to surround yourself with people that will motivate you and want to be on your team as well, and that you're only going to be as good as the people that you surround yourself with. So choose your circle, I guess, wisely, and use those people to motivate you as well. And surround yourself with people that want to see you succeed. I'd say were my takeaways from AthleteCon.
Ooh, you better let them know, cause it was like, girl, the rooftop party was like just exquisite. And I ain't gonna lie, I ain't never been to a rooftop, but I felt like, dang, I feel royalty. Like, where's my little tea at? But then they had little samplers. I was like, okay, just a little. I was like, and I was like, man, I know we at our best, but it's like I ain't never been, so I was like, let me. But I noticed, I saw like everybody had the throne, took the pictures of the throne with the crown and stuff. Like, oh, and then next thing I know, there's like a whole line where everybody's taking pictures with one specific. I was like, who is this person? It was like they look alike. So that no, they're like they look familiar. Like, oh yeah, that's Livy Dunn. I was like, ooh, that's her. Like everybody got made sure to get like pictures with Livy. I thought that was super dope. But just like
Yeah.
just building the connections, like and building like that friendship, like you'll see like so many people like just A hype you up, B like say, hey, I got a space for you to like, hey, you know, I know NILs and stuff, so but the cross posting was interesting what they mentioned. I was like, oh, that makes sense. It's like,
I'm like, oh, that makes more sense now. Yeah, it was super cool meeting Livy Dunn and her sister Jules. I think they're just like their dynamic is just so cool, and like having the chance to talk to them was awesome. But yeah, I was in a similar way. I like when we got up to the rooftop, I was like, do I belong out here? Like, like it's so fancy. Because I don't know.
and then like, you know, the jackets that everybody got, I was like,
Mhm.
it's so comfortable. I was like, so, like, I don't know, like, it was just like, it's so comfortable. It's like, oh, it's warm now. So it's like, so, but my question for you is though, like, if you had to choose like top 5 brands that you would love to work with for NIL, what would it be?
Okay, my top 5 brands. I'd say Jeep would be a cool one, like a custom like Jeep, like pink Jeep. I love pink. So I think that would be really cool, and like especially in the summertime, driving that around and at school and stuff. Um, my second brand would definitely be Lululemon. I wear their stuff a lot. I know they don't have an NIL program, but they have like some athlete collab ones. But an NIL program would be awesome. um, no. I'd like to do Viore too, the one that Livy Dunn represents. That's an athletic wear company as well.
What
I
is
think Lululemon and Viore are like my two big ones.
what
That
was your
clothing. It's similar to Lululemon, but a little different. Like they have more like loungewear stuff as well. Like when you're not working out, so some chill, some chill clothes. Um, see.
If you love food, you can include food too.
I was thinking food one too. Um, I know Pliables has an NIL. Um, so definitely Pliables or there's an acai place near my house. That would be nice too. Or acai and smoothies. It's called Blended Berry. Um, so one of those. We don't really have. I don't have Pliable near my house though. It's like an hour from my house. So
What's a pliable? Forgive me for asking. I ain't never heard.
Pliables, it's like they're like acai bowls and smoothies. So
Oh,
frozen smoothie bowls. And then I have one more.
and it's perfect because it's summertime too. So it's like that. It's perfect. So, but
Last one, I'd probably do with um, I'd say Nike. Like get Nike shoes. We're an Adidas school, so I could probably get in trouble for saying that, but maybe not. No, I don't know. But no, I like Nike shoes, like Nike apparel, clothing. So I think that would be a good one too.
I I will say Adidas shoes are very interesting. Their sizes is different for like Nikes because like so like say like for women's 11s, I'm just using an example. For women's 11s, it's a men's 10, but for Nikes for women's 11, it's a 9.5. I'm like, so we're just going by half an inch now. So we're just it's
That's
it's a lot. I'm like, so we're gonna have to convert everything. Like everything with math. Like I don't like math, but I love counting money. Counting money is amazing. So
yeah, it can be hard in between all the brands. Like every brand, their like sizes are so different. I'm like, I can't.
so is Winnipeg like in Massachusetts
No,
or
it's in Connecticut.
oh Connecticut? Oh,
Houston.
oh, I was about to say. I was like, I know she said Massachusetts. I was like, see, this is why I'm glad you corrected me because I wonder if I don't know if you ever seen that trend where like people like say, oh, I go to a school in Connecticut. They're like, oh, you go to UConn? They're like, holy effing airball, like. They're like, yeah, I go to college in Connecticut. They were like, oh, you go to UConn? You're like, holy effing airball. Like, that could be like a content creation. Like, I play, that would be like, oh,
That's a good idea. I might actually do that because everyone's like, "What's Bonafide?" I'm like, come on, like you haven't seen it? It's beautiful. You got to go check it out. But no, UConn, we're like big field hockey like rivals. So
I'm just saying, I was like, because I was like, when you just mentioned, it's like, oh, like, that could be a content idea, but like, because it's like the biggest trend. It's one of the biggest trends I've seen for
right
sports
now,
now. So it's like, holy effing airball. I'm like, it's funny, but it's cute, but it's funny. It's like, and it just I'm like quick to repost. Yeah. So, but my question for you is, when it comes to women's sports, how important is representation?
I'd say that the way women's sports, the trajectory it's going, upwards trajectory, I'd say that representation is super important, and female athletes need support from everyone. Um, like for instance, like on TikTok the other day, I saw an athlete that had posted a video, and like everyone was like, it was like a sports, like she was doing her summer training packet, and everyone was like reposting it, like people were liking, commenting, just being like motivational, like I guess supporting her. And when I saw that, I just thought like how the sports world has changed, especially for female athletes. And now that we're getting the recognition that we deserve, um, I'd say that it just needs to continue on this upwards trajectory. And um, I guess female athletes are we're like motivated, hardworking. We want to help others. We want to mentor others. I know so many people that get messages, my teammates, my other friends from home that are athletes, they get messages from younger girls asking, oh, where'd you get this piece of equipment? Like, can you help me with this? Can you show me this? And I think like owning my own business as well, I see how important it is for female athletes, especially from at a younger age, to have the support they need from not only like, I guess, social media, like people like that, but from their parents, and have a support of other female athletes around them. Because I've seen so many athletes that when they come to me at first, I guess they're just like nervous and like, I don't know. And I'm like, you're just here to have fun. So let's have fun. And then they come back again, and they're not only having fun, but they're getting better while doing it. And they're becoming some of the best hockey players, I'd say, in Massachusetts from continuing to work hard. It's not their parents that are signing them up. They're the ones that want to do it. And the kids that are motivated and are willing to do things outside of what other people see, outside of their own club teams or things they have to do, those are the girls that are going to succeed and go far and go play at the college level. So I just think that female representation is super important, and everyone from all fronts needs to play a role in it, and supporting female athletes. And I mean, especially at the college level, um, we have a thing at our school called it's a Quinnipiac like Bobcats challenge, where there's an app and it's for all students. And if you go to games, you have to go to at least one of every team's games, and you have to scan. You like scan on this app, and then like at the end of the year, you win free hockey tickets to the Yale Quinnipiac game, which is like a big rivalry.
Oh,
And you win other prizes too. And I'm also a part of this group called SAC, the Student Athlete um, basically organization, where we do GOEs, which are games of emphasis, and every team has a chance to pick a date, a time for one of their games, and the entire student athlete body must go to at least one of every team's games. So that's softball, that's baseball, that's field hockey, that's women's basketball, men's basketball, everyone goes to one game. All of the athletes go to the one game. So I think that's huge, because people are going to these games and they're like, you know what, like female athletes can dominate. Like they're just as hardworking as I am, and I think that's super important. So
oh, I'm here for that. Yes. And so I always ask, the athletes, because I always say, athletes are humans first. So this leads to my question, as an athlete and a woman, how important is mental health?
mental health is everything these days, I'd say. I'm an ambassador for Morgan's Message at my school. I'm one of the ambassadors for our group. But I mean, our mental health drives not only our athletic game, but our academics. It drives our social life. And I'd say that if you're not taking the time to evaluate your mental health and taking the time to put effort into improving your mental health and doing things that improve your mental health, then you're putting yourself at a deficit, and you're putting yourself in a difficult place to be able to achieve your goals on and off the field. I mean, there's so many things for your mental health. I mean, for me, one thing I like to do, it's nothing big. I like to color in a coloring book sometimes when I'm like, you know what, I think I need a reset. It doesn't need to be anything crazy. You don't need to go meet with someone. If you don't want to do that, you don't need to. It can be something small. It could be going for a walk or listening to music when you feel like you need to reset, or putting time in every day, putting time towards improving your mental health, then that's huge. Even if it's for 10, 15 minutes a day, that's better than nothing. And you're doing something that's going to improve your mental state. So, yeah.
And you mentioned you are a ambassador for Morgan's Message, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Can you like let the people know what what Morgan's message is? I've heard about it, but don't know entirely. But can you let like people know
Yeah.
what Morgan's message is and how you became the ambassador for it?
Yeah. So Morgan's message started when a Duke women's lacrosse player named Morgan. She was playing at Duke at the time, and they actually say she died by suicide. They say by because this was something this was something that was had been lingering, and she died by suicide. She didn't. I guess the other wording would be that's just how they say it. And basically, her message and the people that support her cause was that athletes need to be supported in the mental health space. And she had been going through a tough time at Duke, and not many people had realized actually. I don't think really anyone had realized that she was going through a hard time. So the message is more so to check on other people and see how not only the people that seem happy, you people will seem okay and seem happy, but inside they might not be, and they might be going through something, and that's what Morgan was going through. She didn't really show her emotions, and no one really knew. So the message is that mental health matters, and everybody needs to take care of their mental health in their own way. And um, even though people seem fine, you should check on others because you never know what someone's going through. Um, and I became an ambassador because I was moved by that message, and I thought going into my freshman year that I wanted to be a part of that, and I wanted to spread her awareness. So I applied to the ambassador program. I went through all the training. So there's 5 student athlete ambassadors at my school, and we meet once a month and have a meeting, and anyone's welcome to come, student athlete, non-student athlete, and we just talk and we go through some presentations. But yeah.
This was like it's interesting because usually the happiest people be the ones that are very is going through a lot. So like for me, I remember telling somebody, check on your strongest and happiest people in your life because you never know what type of battles, silent battles that they are going through. So
Right, it's so true. So it's sad, but if you can catch it ahead of time, and you can help your friends acknowledge that they're going through something, or even if they're not your friends, your teammates, or then you'll only help them in the long run. So yeah.
for sure. First of all, I like your chain. I just wanted to say that.
Oh, thank you.
I was like,
It's a
it's cute.
whale tail.
It's a whale.
Yeah, whale tail.
Oh, it's a whale tail. I was like,
Thank you.
ooh. I ain't seen a whale tail in so long. I was like, oh, it's a whale tail. Look like a whale tail or a dolphin tail. Like just keep swimming. Just keep swimming.
Thank you.
So my question for you is how would you describe your journey? Whether it's the phrase or a few words, how would you describe your journey?
That's a good question. Um, you know what? Maybe you should ask. Maybe wait. Maybe you should ask me what type of question, what type of answer. Unless are you gonna like maybe you can like cut it so there's no like long
Oh
pause.
yeah, girl, my podcast is raw real. I could just I make clips about everything. So this is raw real. Sir.
Okay. Okay. Um, I'd say that my journey has been like nothing but um, eventful. Like I can't only pick one word. I'd say like I have multiple words. Like it's been eventful, like fun, exciting. Like I've met so many great people along the way, and like thinking back to like playing soccer, like for the first time, I feel like when you're younger, like you're like, okay, like that's what I'm gonna do. Like this is what I'm gonna do for the rest of my life. And then like you just meet so many people and there's so many new opportunities that you have the chance to try new things. And I think that without um, trying new things and going and try and being a part of opportunities that are offered, I wouldn't be where I am today. Um, so overall, my journey has just been like honestly unexpected at times. Like I when I switched sports, I think for like thinking about how other people like some of my friends were like their parents, my friends were like, "You're switching?" Like it was like the most crazy thing ever. Like people were like, they were like just like crazy. They're like, like what do you mean? Like you're just gonna switch? I'm like, that's what I want to do. So I think like the biggest message for my journey is to like it's simple and but just follow your dreams and your path. You'll build your own path based off your own morals and beliefs. And I think that following my own path has led me to great opportunities, meeting great people. I'm at a great school. Like, I think it's just been great. So, yeah.
And you mentioned you had like built your own field hockey training. What inspired you to create the field hockey business for you?
I think what inspired me was what I said earlier about the two ladies, Caroline and Lauren, who are actually now in high school. I think they were the two that inspired me. I actually had a mom that had asked me before them to coach her daughter, and I hadn't really thought of it ever before. But when she said it to me, I was like, "That's something I could definitely do." Um, so I think that kind of sparked my interest of being like, okay, this is what I could do. Up until at least I get my degree and I figure out exactly what I want to do my entire life. But I think what inspired me was kind of like seeing myself in the kids I was coaching and being like, I would have benefited from having someone like that. So, yeah.
Girl, shout out to you.
Thank you.
Because, my thing is like, a lot of people don't understand how hard athletes work, especially college athletes. Like, I would say, imagine getting up at 5 in the morning and having to do early workouts and classes and all that stuff. And just kudos to you balancing your training and the books and the athletics. So kudos to you,
Thank
girl.
you. I appreciate it. Well, at school, I do it as well. I have a few kids down there. So I'm like, I can't not coach it all on that school. Like, I miss it. So, yeah.
What would you say is your top three from the previous season or during your, the field hockey career so far? What would you say is your top three favorite moments so far?
I'd say one of my favorite moments was my first Big East game, or actually my first season. We had a Big East play-in game. So it was our last game of the season, but if we won, it would determine if we were going to the tournament or not. Um, and I was a freshman. We went into double overtime. I remember it very vividly. I played every second of that game. Um, and we were in double overtime. We had 7 players on the field, and actually no, 6 players on the field, one goalie, huge field. Um, and we went to double overtime. And I remember when the other team had a corner, which is when the other team basically gets as many players as they want on the circle. You're only allowed to have 3 defenders in overtime and 1 goalie. And we were set up in the net. And unfortunately, they did score. The game ended. But I think that was a very memorable moment where I obviously I was very upset, but looking back, looking back on that moment, I think I realized like that I never wanted. I had given my all, and like I never wanted that to happen again. But I think it was a memorable experience because one, I was with all my teammates, my best friends, and we had gotten to hopefully we get there again this season where we have the opportunity to play to get into the Big East tournament, or we're in the Big East tournament. That's always the goal, to make it to the tournament. But I think that was a moment where I was like, you know what, like I've worked so hard, and like it was the end of my freshman year, like I played every minute, and other than when I like dislocated my nose and I had to go out for 15 minutes because the coach made me. But I think that was a memorable moment where I had worked hard, and I was like, this is what I worked for. Um, and it's kind of a moment where I was like, you know what, like we're going to get back there. Like I want to be back here playing for this spot. So yeah.
Girl, double overtime though.
Mm-hmm. It was a super long game.
Like, what time did y'all started?
I think it was like a 12 o'clock or a 1 o'clock game, and it went really long. It usually they're an hour, so it went around like hour and a half, hour 45 maybe.
Hey, usually those double overtime games, like, oh man, this is amazing. This is like we about to get this in, and it's like, oh, it's like one of those so close, but it's like you just felt it, and it's like, but that's super cool though. Like, yeah,
And
I'm gonna make sure to tune into a field hockey game. Just because you described that, I'm gonna make sure to tune into a field hockey game. I'm like, you know what?
you'll have to. They're live streamed on our website.
I'm here for it. I'm here for it. So my question for you is, and I always ask my guests this question because Bonafide means authentic and unique. So what makes Miss Katie Shanahan Bonafide? What makes your story stands out?
What makes my story stand out is my my continued passion for what I do every day, both on and off the field, coaching, in my everyday life. I'm just passionate wherever I am, and if someone asks me about playing field hockey, I don't think honestly I think it would take me, or if I had the time, if they had the time to listen to me and I didn't want to make them run away, I'd probably sit there and I'd describe the whole game to them, and it would go on forever and ever. So I feel like I'm a very personal person as well, and I'm passionate about things that I do and how I portray myself as a leader, as a field hockey player, as a student athlete. And I take a lot of pride in being a student athlete and a leader. So I'd say that's what makes me unique is I'm always looking to bring out the best in others, and I always portray a unique personality as well, where I'm always, I guess, wanting to help others out, and um, I'm always looking to brighten someone else's day and not only brighten my own day. So yeah, I feel like I put a lot of effort into helping others out.
Oh, I know that's right. You better let them know. Put a smile on their face, but like, yeah. Plus, laughter is the medicine to the soul. So I'd be like, medicine to the soul is laughter. You know, have that heart get into that soul, into it. It's cardio, like running like a treadmill. Bow, bow, bow. So I always call this the shameless plug because, hey, all the athletes, go get your coins, get that support, everything. I'm here for it. So can you let the people know where they can find you if there's any upcoming events or a season for you?
Of course. Thank you so much.
Oh, you
Do you want to play right now?
Yeah, yes.
Okay. Well, I guess our field hockey season starts. Our first game is mid-August, Um, but other than that, I am going to Amsterdam, the Netherlands, for a week of field hockey training with my old club teammates from when I graduated before heading off to Quinnipiac. So we're going out there. There's a bunch of D1, D2, D3 girls that I'm going to be playing with. We're playing against Dutch teams. I don't think that's going to be live streamed, but that'll definitely be a cool experience. I'll definitely post a lot about it on my Instagram as well. Yeah, other than that, other than my field hockey season coming up, that's all I really have. I'm just going to be enjoying the Cape weather, going to the beach, going out in the boat, training, of course, lots of training. Yeah.
Where they can where can the people like support and find you like on social media?
My Instagram is Katie Shanahan with 3 N's. So my name here, but 2 extra N's. So there's three total. That's my Instagram. And then my TikTok is Katie Shanner, KATIESHANNER. I post a lot on my TikTok as well. And then I also have LinkedIn, Katie Shanahan. So yeah, I post everything on there. And I also do have my field hockey Instagram linked in the bio of my main Instagram here. So I'll show you here. That's my main Instagram. And then my field hockey one is linked there, and it'll take you right there. If you want to see my coaching business, I post a lot of videos of the kids I train. I post videos of myself training as well. I post some nutrition stuff. I also just dropped some merch a few months ago. So I have my own merch line, and I'm always coming out with new stuff. So, yeah.
Y'all heard it from the queen from here first, y'all. Y'all be sure to follow her, follow Miss Katie, like she said, and tune in to the field hockey season that's coming up in mid-August. You said
Yes.
mid-August, y'all, is coming up. Mid-August is almost here, y'all. It's almost a skip and a hop and away, y'all. So y'all be sure to tune in and support the field hockey for Miss Katie, and be sure to follow her in all her social medias, just like she said. So thank you guys for tuning in Bonafide, her podcast, episode 143. You could be sure to check out the live replay of episode 143 featuring the one and only Miss Katie Shanahan herself. Thank you guys for tuning in. Peace.